Good morning. We're very pleased with the way our guys came together in week one. There's always a lot of unknowns, and the things that are concerns. Can your players adjust to the speed of the game? How do they execute the plan? Their conditioning in those games, and everything was really strong. Our veteran players and our coaching staff, were really good in this first game. But aside from that, we got to move on to our next challenge, and it's a totally different group of challenges. This new opponent here, Philadelphia, it's led by a quarterback, dual threat player, and it'll take a full week of preparation to get ready to challenge this offense. They have a great rushing attack. They led the league last year, so that's really where their game starts.
Yeah, what would you see from Jalen Hurts specifically with how he led that run game?
Yeah, he's more comfortable this year with the system, and they are very good with the system. It's well coached. They present a lot of problems and challenges. They make you attack the entire field. They've added weapons to his attack. They're very strong at tight end. Now they have receivers on both sides with Smith and A.J. Brown, and he had a big game, but they're both very dangerous.
How do you limit a guy like that? Do you have to spy him?
It takes a combination. If you do any one thing all the time, they'll catch on to it. But we'll have to be smart with our rush lanes and our attack, and we'll have a variety of ways to rush them.
When it comes to that specific problem, how important is it to be versatile in the types of fronts that you can deploy when you go from a quarterback like Rodgers one week to Hurts the next week?
Yeah, we're a multiple front team just starting out, so we have these things available to us. It's just we have to adjust them in a different manner here. This is different. The keys that they get initially, the first, second, and the down is different in a game like this.
Just in general terms, Ed, first game, I know some of the stars didn't play in the preseason. How do you think the defense adjusted from a 4-3 last year to a 3-4 this year?
I think quite well, and again, it's our veteran players, and there are many things that relate. But the coaching staff that we've assembled here, is really a big part of this thing. The overall cooperation between our offense and our defense in camp. This is a team where we got a lot of pros on this team. They support each other. We got so much great work. Kevin and our medical staff, the way they created an environment where we got great work and kept our people healthy and fresh for this game, and that's really the important thing.
Following up on that, as much as summer training has changed over the course of your career, training camp and the level of physicality and all that, I guess you wouldn't really have known it based on the way your team was hitting, especially there was some violent hits and illegal, but violent hits and hard hitting and good tackling. And I'm just what's the process now for getting guys ready to hit at that level of intensity when that really doesn't happen even in the most physical training camps now?
Yeah, thank you. You guys have mentioned this all through the process of the off season. Are you going to be ready? And you really don't know till you go to the game. So we didn't know. Time told us. But there's no summit to tackling, good tackling. This week it'll be a total premium, and we have to find new ways, because the most important thing in any kind of offense or defense is healthy players. Getting your good players to the game, and science is showing us new ways, and then we got to adapt on the other end as coaches, and that's what our intent is.
Is that just something that's ingrained in players that, by the time they get here, they know how to tackle, the fundamentals, they know how to turn on the intensity when it's time?
Yes, it's a combination. First of all, you don't get to the NFL unless you're tough, but then you also need to develop the skill and the technique, and that's where our individual drills come, and that's where we view film of examples of good tackling and so forth, and then you just think that, hey, maybe they can turn it on, and that was the case in this first game. But we're going to need another great tackling day this week.
Sure, it's always important to communicate in coverage, but when you have a quarterback of Jalen Hurts, who is a dual threat guy, how important is communication on the back end in coverage with all that, Jalen presents and that receiving corps presents.
Yeah, it was important last week, and it's important this week. And I'm probably going to say it's important every week because your plan has to, they have to work in conjunction, all levels of your defense, and they're just presenting a different problem set this week.
Who's playing the role of Jalen Hurts and scout team this week?
We got a variety of guys. Sometimes you just have your regular quarterback in there. Sometimes you'll put a receiver in there to we've had a couple guys to just run around and let us feel the speed of what it would be like to deal with a player with that athleticism.
And it seems like there's a lot of elite receivers like A.J. Brown or like Justin Jefferson in the league. I guess what is the biggest challenge facing cornerbacks as they go up against these guys, kind of seemingly week after week?
Yeah, it's just in the preparation. We're looking for some kind of tactical clue, some kind of advantage to where they're going, and how are we going to add help to them or take help away? Who has the hard down, at times? So I don't know. There's I just know the challenges are there every week, and until you execute the plan, you're not feeling good.